Hi everyone, my name is Jake Phillips and I am head of product and engineering at Seamless. Wanted to take just 10 to 15 minutes today to walk you through the Seamless platform and show you how to find leads, connect with prospects, and close deals really quickly and efficiently within the Seamless platform. So I'm going to take you basically into the front door, which is the first thing you'll see here at Seamless. We have a natural language search, and as you can see, there's a number of different ways that you could utilize this natural language search as you see some words scrolling through there. So I'll show you in just a moment an example, and then we'll kind of take those and carry them into executing a campaign, doing outreach to customers. But really quickly, I'll show you how simply it is to use the Seamless platform. But a couple things I want to first highlight here on this page is we have our view filters. So if you want to go with a more standard kind of traditional advanced filter view, you can open up the filters, see the many different ways that you could execute a search by company, by titles. You can use intent-based search like job changes. We also have a full intent search as well if you want to search by companies and contacts that are actually showing intent for your product. We have a number of different ways, though, as you can see here, that you can search for contacts as well as companies. You can also search by companies specifically and then find contacts, but many of our customers are actually just going straight to contacts because you can search with both contact persona as well as firmographic information. So if you want to go with more of an advanced search, you can open up those filters. You can also click here to identify your recent searches. You can look at saved searches as well if you've saved a search and want to come back to that. But I'll go ahead and just go back to my main filters, and I'm going to put in a simple search here. So find me, let's say, marketing managers in Tennessee. I live in Tennessee, so we'll go ahead and find some of those. Misspelled marketing managers. You see that we did correct that for me, which was nice of us. So I have 8,000, about 8,200 marketing managers here in Tennessee. As I want to modify this, you can see we've already created the filters here. So let's say, I want to go ahead and marketing department. We have marketing manager as title, seniority. Let's go ahead and add a few more seniorities in here. So I'll go ahead and add manager, but we'll also put senior, director, and then if there's any VPs as well, we'll go there. So we'll run a search. That's roughly similar. So just, because marketing manager is a pretty consistent title. So we pretty much nailed it on that first one, but you can customize this any way you see fit here. You can include, you can also exclude as well by hovering over this and clicking exclude or utilizing the exclude option. Let's say I want to exclude entry level. I can do that. This probably won't make much of an impact. As you can see, we already had those filters pretty well engaged. But what I do here now is I'm going to now find my contacts. The first thing I want to highlight is you see here up here at the top, this says add to list. So this is our default list. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and select, I already had a list created. I'll select this as my default list. That'll show marketing manager in Tennessee. So now anytime I research these contacts in our two-step search and research process, this will automatically tag those contacts. So as you scroll over here, you can see I have a bunch of information already showing around the persona and the firmographic data, but there is certain information that is hidden. There's the emails, the phones, some of that information that in order to get that, I click this find button. We do that because we real-time research all this contact information. So we're doing a real-time search, and then immediately when you find the contact, we're then doing a real-time research on these contacts. So there's a two-step algorithm that actually makes this much more powerful and the data much more clean and fresh. So I'm going to start by clicking find a few times. You'll see what happens here. We'll go into research, and those are immediately going through millions of data points across 100 different record pieces, and it's pulling back the contact information and the additional persona information for these contacts, again, in real time. If I want to research those more efficiently, I can do multiple things. I could click find all. So I'll go ahead and click find all. You can see those all immediately go into researching and all start flipping over. Again, this is real-time research that's happening within seconds and fractions of seconds. I can also, with 8,000 contacts, begin Autopilot. I can name my Autopilot search. This is going to run through the entire search automatically for me. I can select how many contacts I want, up to either the total amount of searches of records available in that search, or the total contacts that I have available. A contact equals a credit. So every single time I use a credit, I am researching a full contact, emails, phones, everything associated to that contact. So as I do that, you see now I have 50 contacts that I've researched. I can very quickly go to the next page right here, and I will find another 50 contacts. So we'll research those 50 contacts really quickly as well. So you can see there, in a matter of literally seconds, I went from search to find, and now I have 100 contacts tagged for my marketing manager Tennessee list. From here, I can do a couple things. I can, go deeper into the contact. I can find more information about this contact. I can hover over it either here or even in the flyout. I can hover over their email, get a little bit more information. You see the score. This is our total AI score. So it has email validation associated to it as well. So I can see that's a valid email, a very high confidence score, and that relates to our confidence of delivery as you use that email. So we're going to give you not just an email validation, which we do for every record. We're going to give you a confidence score for that as well. So we'll give you additional contact details. We'll give you the ability to manage that contact. You can quickly import it. You can manage the status of that contact if you're using Seamless for engagement. You can see full experience, any education details, any pitch intel, if you have them attached to a campaign, if there's job changes, their time in role, their time in their company. You can see additional information around the company as well. You can see org chart. So if I want to find additional contacts to round out my buyer committee and do a holistic outreach that way, I can come in here, search by seniority, search by department. I can quickly add contacts that way. A number of different things I can do here. I can add notes, I can add activity, I can add tasks, I can do a number of things directly from here. But first and foremost, you're going to be maintaining and using that contact main perspective. And as you use AI within Seamless, so I'll show you in a little bit how I can build prompts and use AI within Seamless, that's going to leverage all of this intelligence that already is inside of the AI brain of Seamless, know the contact, know the company, know all the context related to it. So it's going to automatically have that as you create prompts and as you look to build content and do outreach with these customers. One thing I can also do here is I could use AI directly. So I can now ask questions directly of Rachel Kane. It's going to, again, have that context of who she is, what her company is. So that way I can ask more probing specific questions. But I can go back here. I can email Rachel as well. So directly from here, I can put together an email, write a subject, add any notes if I want to keep notes as well. But I can write that. I can use specific content here. If I have a prompt, I can prompt saved, which I'll show you in a moment. I can use the prompt. I can also use templates if I have a template saved. So a number of different things you could do there. I'll go ahead and run this prompt. That's going to generate an email preview, and that automatically used the prompt that I have already saved in the backend, created an email for Rachel, and move forward with that. So now I can send this email really efficiently. Click send right here, and that's going to go directly out to Rachel, targeted, personalized from me at Seamless over to Rachel at Eastman with specific personalization already built in there. So I can customize this as I see fit, and then I could send this to Rachel. I could do the same thing with a call as well. If I had prompts saved, I could do that as well on the call side of things. I could add her specifically to a campaign individually, or I can go ahead and take all these contacts and I can do bulk outreach with those contacts as well. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and dive into my contacts. So I mentioned I was just in search there. Now I have my contacts. This looks very similar to what you just saw in search, but all of your contacts are now saved into this central data source. So this is essentially a little bit of a CRM, essentially, if you will. There's a lot of customers who actually leverage this as a full holistic CRM. You can manage contact statuses. You can do a lot of things that you could. And I would call it a light, simplified CRM. If you don't need something as heavy as a HubSpot or a Salesforce and you don't want to pay for it because you're not paying for that from a Seamless perspective, this isn't an additional cost. This is just part of the platform. You can use Seamless as a holistic CRM as well. We have the ability to share contacts within your organization across your teams as well. So you can see if other people have also researched these contacts, if other people own these contacts. You can see here, if I click this, I have the ability to hide and show any shared contacts associated with my team based off of if I have that set up in my settings. So you can turn this into a truly holistic content or contact management system within Seamless itself. So from here, I can do a couple of things, as I mentioned as well. I could do bulk outreach to these contacts that I've recently found. I can narrow down based off of that total AI score that I mentioned before. So let's say I really want to get narrow with my AI, with my email outreach, and want to make sure, I land in every inbox. I have no bounce rate. So I can click save here. That'll go ahead. It reduced, I think took 2 contacts off there. So you can see didn't really reduce it much at all. But now I have the confidence knowing that I have 80% or above, pretty high delivery confidence when I do outreach to these customers. So from here, I can individually do outreach as well, one-off, which will create an activity record. I'll be able to track if those people get back to me as well, full sales engagement functionality. I can import a contact. I can export this contact list. I can do a number of things here within this. In my actions, I can add a contact as well. Stay tuned. We actually have some more actions that are really exciting coming up very soon within Seamless that, hopefully by the time you've watched this video, those will even be in the platform as well. And I'll have a new video for you. But I can do outreach as well in bulk, just like I can do individual here. I can click here. This will do outreach to my entire list. So I'll go ahead and show you that. So this shows you have 98 contacts and 1 contact did not have a valid email. So I'll go ahead and load those 97 contacts. So that way I have my valid emails. This is going to take me into my template screen. So I can either utilize an existing template that I have. I have existing content here that I have with dynamic variables, or I can utilize an AI prompt. So I'm going to say, create me a cold outbound email that is hyper personalized and showcases the value of my products to them. All right, so I can select my different, I have multiple, a few different options here. We're going to be adding more models as well. We have GPT. We're going to be integrating Claude and Anthropic models, also exploring some Gemini models as well. So stay tuned there, but those are coming very soon. But I'm going to go ahead and submit this. That's going to automatically use that email and it's going to generate a preview. So this is generating a preview for Adrian Holt. And it is, looks like we have in our demo, our designer here has updated one of our defaults. We have default email signatures too. So that's what you're seeing here. Our designer's been testing with this too. So you can add default email signatures, but this went ahead and automatically added my email signature as well with the AI. And then from here, I can either send all if I want to do a bulk outreach, or I can preview all. I'm going to click preview all so you guys can see what we call our 3-panel connect screen. So this is going to load all those contacts in on the left. You see all the contacts I have loaded in here. It's going to then automatically write content to those contacts. So it starts with Adrian, references the company, references some of the capabilities and challenges of the title. Then I'll go into Adam. Adam will also generate that email. So it'll come in here with Adam. It has, again, the same thing here. So also at Eastman, then I'll go to Caroline and you'll see, again, same thing here, loads in Baker Donaldson. So knows that, references that. And then every single time as you're stepping through these, you can see it shows which ones I've viewed already. And if I want to send them, I can go ahead and send them as well. So I could click send here. I'll go ahead and send that just so we can see it. Email scheduled to send. And then in just a moment, I have a slight delay. Email has been sent. So I'll show you in a moment the activity record of now that I've sent an email to Adam. I'll be able to track if Adam now gets back to me. So can do the same thing with Adrian Holt here. Go ahead, review that. Looks good there. Oh, actually, no, I sent that to Adrian. Sorry. It went to the next one for Adam here. So I'll go ahead and send that to Adam. Again, schedule that up, make sure it feels good. If I accidentally did it, I can cancel it real quick. It gives me that opportunity to do so. That's why we have that slight delay, but it'll go ahead and send automatically. So I could roll through those, as you can see, very, very quickly. Just check, review, modify if I want, go ahead and click send, same thing. So I can do a lot of outreach one-off very, very quickly in this connect screen. But I'm going to go ahead and exit that. I'll leave this engagement, go back to my contacts, because now what I want to show you is the ability to create a campaign. So I'll jump into my campaign right here on the left. And I currently don't have any campaigns, but I'm going to go ahead and create one. So I'll call this my Tennessee Marketing Manager Outreach. I'll select from either my contacts if I want to do individuals, or I would recommend you use your lists as well, or leverage that list functionality. Go ahead and create that campaign. You can see it says 102 contacts now added to that campaign. So I have all these contacts in my campaign. And now the first thing I have to do is I need to add my steps. So I'm going to go ahead, add my first step. I often like to start with a manual step. You can start with an automatic step, but I generally like to start manual, and then you can layer automatic or any other channels within that. You can see call, LinkedIn, custom as well. If you want to do custom research or outreach or follow-ups or those types of things, you can also add those steps. But we'll start with a manual step. Again, I'll create a similar prompt here. If I already have a prompt, I can use that. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use my existing prompt. So I have an existing prompt already that I created in our templates section, in our content section. So create a cold count outbound campaigns for step 1 of the campaign, make it hyper-personalized. Again, I will go ahead and I'll send that one. You can see this is day 1. So this will start that campaign automatically. Melinda Littleton. So creating that content for Melinda Littleton, and I'll go ahead and add the step. It shows you a quick rundown of all the different things that you need to be doing to complete your campaign. Make sure all your settings look good, everything else associated to that. But once I finish off all my steps here, I can then kick off my campaign. So I'll go ahead and add another step. Let's add we'll add a call step, and we'll do 3 days in. So I'm going to select a template that I have here for call already. So here's my template. You can see this one with dynamic variables. So you can create this in our content section as well to use dynamic variables if you have some tried and true scripts for emailing or calling or LinkedIn or whatever that might be. So I'll go ahead and add my day 3 call step. That means as I'm putting contacts through this and I'm running them through my campaign, as I hit that 3rd day, they're going to come due. And then I'll know that, okay, I have due tasks to do this day. And so if you just simply follow that, come into your campaign, we'll tell you what exactly needs to be done on which day. And you can easily execute that through our panel, 3-panel connect screen. So I'm going to go ahead and start my campaign here. So now I've started my campaign. I've loaded my contacts into the campaign. It does take a minute because I created an AI prompt within that. So in just a moment, those contacts will now come into this campaign. It'll show my day 1 step due. I'll go ahead and refresh here. But as you can see here, I'll show you real quick. You can see here we have all 3 of those contacts in that campaign, and then momentarily, you see those tasks are loaded. There's my tasks then. So, it takes just a few seconds to get that loaded in, but just have a few seconds of patience and those will get ready to go. So I have my 102 campaign steps, my manual email, 102 due. So I click here, and that's going to do something very similar to what you just saw a few moments ago when I singularly added that campaign step as well. So that is going to load in all of those contacts. It's going to show the step it's in, the day it's in. So I have all those details. So you can see a little bit more detail related to the campaign here. But now I can, again, move very quickly. So I have Kathy Amos, who is at SmartBank. And so all these types of, vice president, creative marketing and media relations. So it has a lot of information here associated to her. So I'll go ahead and I'll send that. We'll go to the next one. We'll read through information here related to Laura. Hi, Laura, yada, yada, yada. I'll send that one as well. I'm not going to go through and send all of these. I just wanted to send a few so you could see within the campaign how simple, quick, and effective it is to move these contacts through. So as you can see here, I have 2 contacts that have been completed. I have 100 that have not yet been completed, which I can go through here. And I have 2 that have now been added to my my day 3 step. So 2 contacts, 2 tasks that are created for day 3, but 0 due yet, because until day 3 rolls around, I want to make sure I'm cadencing these effectively. Once day 3 hits, then it'll show as due. I click that button, and then it'll take me right into that same view so I can execute on that campaign. So as you can see, very effective, very efficient to be able to roll through these things very quickly. I'm now going to show you the tasks view. So this is a view basically of everything you can see here. You can move these around. You can customize the views here. You can customize view columns really on anywhere too. There's also on the search page, there's a way to customize into a card view as well as a table view. So if you want something that's a little more robust on the data side, you can do that as well. But it has all my information here. So I can execute my tasks from here as well. I can create singular tasks. If I have one-off ones that I want to do for specific contacts, I can do that same thing. I also want to show you the activity. So you can see the activity that I just executed across Adrian, Adam, Kathy, and Laura. So these two were related to my campaign. These two are one-off, but those are showing as outbound now. So as soon as those get some sort of action taken to them, I'll be able to see in a few different places. So it shows in the channel, the direction, it shows the status emailed. When they open that, it'll change to opened. When they reply, if they reply, it'll change to inbound. So from here, all I have to do is just come here, go to inbound, see who's replied to me, and then I can easily follow up and have that conversation. So one thing I can do here is I can look at, so if I want to see like what I've done with Laura, I can click view. That'll take me into the email that I sent specifically to Laura. I can add a note here. I can do whatever I want to do here. If I want to expand this a little bit, you can see here I can do the same thing too. So this gives me a little bit of a wider view. And then as any activity, any actions happen, I can track that. I can note that. I can add notes associated to Laura. If I want to create a note here, I can say, let's see, reminder to ask Laura, let's say I know Laura about her, let's say son's basketball game. So you have the ability to, if I can type there, you have the ability to customize this with notes and things like that. You can add, tasks and reminders and things like that. If I wanted to add a reminder, I could also add this as a task, and it would have me follow up with Laura about her son's basketball game at a next certain time. So I could do the same thing here. I could create a task, could assign a date to that task, those types of things. So I can go ahead and scale this back as well. Again, you can look across Laura just very similarly to what you saw here. If I have some AI I want to run, help me explore the core challenges of her role so I can discuss with her how we can help. So that's going to utilize AI. It's going to look at, okay, here's Laura, here's what she does, here's how we could potentially help. So based on her role as this, these are the things I could do. I could then take this and I could convert it into a talk track. I can convert it into specific questions. So I could say, okay, let's go with 5 tailored questions to ask on the call. So from here, here's a couple of questions that I could do. What's driving the biggest priorities for OCI product marketing right now? How's your team thinking about turning product capabilities into clearer revenue impact for scale? So as you can see, relevant to Seamless, relevant to her role, and I can easily utilize our AI effectively for that as well. Let's say Laura reaches out and is interested. So we have some automatic rules in our settings that you can actually manage to pivot some of these in terms of contact statuses. But let's say I manually want to go through and adjust her status. So now Laura's interested. So I want to go ahead and note that. And so now I can, from here, really quickly see that Laura is interested. I can go into my contacts, and from my contacts, if I want to filter down, we have the status contacts as well from here. So I can go ahead and filter down by contact status. I can say, okay, who is interested? So I can keep track of that. I can do my follow-ups with everybody who is interested here as well. So really clean, simple, easy ways to use this. You can also see here on the left, when I have tasks that show as due, I have my little indicator here. So I have activity that has happened. I have tasks that has happened, but a lot of things to do within Seamless. I also, furthering in my left nav, I can search here. I can look at my return on investment. So as you connect into your CRM, we can actually see the ROI of which contacts are turning into opportunities. I can click view breakdown. That's going to take me into more details about which contacts, what opportunities were created here. So you can go specifically deeper into that. In the interest of time, I'll skate over that one though, but you can definitely explore that. We have usage, so I can look at my team's usage. I can set goals to track against what we need to be accomplishing on a daily, weekly, and monthly, because we know goals are extremely effective. I can look at mine, or as I mentioned, my team's usage. So see how my team is utilizing the platform across the system. And if we're hitting our goals, you can see this is our demo account that we're using. So haven't been necessarily hitting our goals for our demo account in terms of doing our outreach here, because we're generally just high level demoing. But you can see we had 1 month where we're really strong. We had 41,000 leads, but obviously 40,000 leads in a given month is aggressive. So let's say I want to change this to 4,000 leads. So 4,000 leads a month, you can see much more effective here. I can look by week. I can look by day, make sure we're hitting our goals here. So today did a good job making sure we're staying on track and on task. You can also go down here, look at my team all time, last 90, last 30, last 60. If I want to see who's effectively using the Seamless platform, you can see that here as well. Teams, how much are they leveraging and finding leads? You can do a lot of other things across the system. We also have a very robust API in MCP, a lot of API endpoints available to search, research, and find leads within Seamless. We also have endpoints across our NCP. We have 50 different tools connected into our MCP, so you can easily utilize that with Claude and with GPT, N8N, a lot of these other tools. We actually are in the process of building custom integrations with a lot of these tools as well. We have a number of different integrations as well with CRMs. So if you go into our integrations, you can see we have all the top CRMs. We're continuously actually this year layering more as well, but Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Dynamics, Zoho, all those things, SalesLoft, Outreach. If you're using other enterprise outreach tools, you can obviously use Seamless to do outreach, as I just showed you. Very clean, simple ways to do that. But we have connections into these other tools as well. Greenhouse and Bullhorn for ATS systems. Zapier you can also connect into if you want to connect over to, I think, 2,000 other integrations as well. So a number of different things you could do there. But you can create your API key. All admins and owners can create API keys on the fly, as many as they need. And then you also have our EDU section. So our education team does a great job of putting together a lot of different content associated to the Seamless platform. And this will help you to understand, in addition to what I shared here today, if you want to go into more specifics around connect, email, call, campaigns, list building, account list building, a lot of different things you can do here. Buyer intent, data enrichment, AI assistant, autopilot, anything you can really think of. Our Chrome, our Chrome extension, our CRM integrations, all those things you can do directly from here. And again, I know it's been a little over 15 minutes, about 30 minutes now. I definitely went over my time here, but hopefully this has really been helpful. I do want to share one other thing. I can't recall because we have been sharing this for quite some time. If there is additional, if I have showcased the Chrome extension. So I want to do that really quickly here as well. So I'll go ahead and click into a contact on LinkedIn, and you can see here, I have this little tab over here on the right. When you download the Chrome extension, this tab will show up. It'll show up on websites. It'll show up on LinkedIn and on social. It'll show up in Gmail, across your CRM as well. But if I click to open this, you can see this is going to show Kathy Amos at SmartBank. So we've identified, I've already found Kathy Amos at SmartBank, but if I didn't, it would show the opportunity to research Kathy, and I could do that. I could get to her information from here. So it's going to know that we are on Kathy Amos's, based off of her URL, we're on Kathy Amos's LinkedIn page. The reverse append in our system, we understand that based off of this is Kathy Amos, and then we're able to share back information from Seamless around Kathy, her persona information, her contact information, her company information. So obviously LinkedIn has a lot of great information directly already in the system, but if you want a co-pilot to act as your B2B data intelligence, we can provide that with the Seamless Chrome extension as well. So you can go to different pages as well, and you can identify if there's other contacts on those pages. So, here's Kelly Fowler. I'll go ahead and open that up. Actually, let me refresh this. Refresh my page here for Kelly. There you go. It was taking a while. For some reason, that page took forever to load. So once that page loads, it will then recognize, okay, our URL has switched. And now I'm on Kelly Fowler's page, who's Senior VP at SmartBank as well. So I can go ahead and research Kelly Fowler. So I can, across the web, as I move across the web, go find these contacts. So there's Kelly Fowler's email. You can see here, same thing, confidence score. We have an accept all with a high confidence score. I can go into another one too, just for reference. That one moves over here. Cynthia, so there's Cynthia, Chief Operating Officer at SmartBank. Click find her. So as you can see how quickly you can move here. I'll go ahead, since we're talking about SmartBank, I'll go ahead and Google SmartBank. We'll jump into their website here. And if I jump into a website, as soon as that page loads, you can see here SmartBank. So we have 464 employees at SmartBank. A couple of those I've already found. I can also find SmartBank. I can save SmartBank to my companies, so that way I have this if I want to look more specifically there. I can find others. So here's the president and CEO, the vice president. I can research them as well. So now I have good coverage on SmartBank. So if I wanted to do an outreach campaign dedicated to SmartBank, I could do that as well. If I'm going more account-based marketing, I could go from website, I could research here, I could find all these contacts, and then I could execute a campaign specifically for my target company or set of target companies. So across the web, whether it's social, whether it's websites, you can utilize Seamless as well and be your business-to-business data co-pilot. So as I mentioned, this also works on a couple different channels. You can leverage it on Gmail as well. But I know we're coming up on just about 30 minutes. I was hoping to keep it ideally under 15. Looks like I didn't hit that, but I wanted to definitely keep it under 30. So I'll go ahead and stop things right here so you guys can wrap up. But hopefully this was helpful, and look forward to continue building Seamless and supporting your sales prospecting and lead generation and outreach. So thanks, everybody.